Welcome to 28 Days and Beyond.
Show where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
I'm Amari.
I'm Charisma. Welcome. Hey, AJ. What are we talking about today?
Hello. Hey. Wow, jump right in, why don't you? All right.
Yep, let's do
Uh,
it.
you
I'm
know,
excited.
so 28 Days and Beyond is a reference to Black History Month and so much more, right? And one of the things that I was teaching my children actually just this morning is that we don't study the past in order to learn facts. We study the past in order to learn lessons. And today we are joined by Danny Gant, who is an elder who has a lifetime worth of experience and so much to teach us by way of facts and the history, but also so many lessons. So we welcome Danny Gant. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Well,
Thank you for joining us.
thank you so
It's a
much.
pleasure to be here. In fact, when they told me to do this, I said, "Nah, I can't do it." But then I looked around at my family, and they said, "Oh, you can do this. You don't do nothing but talk all the time anyway. So just continue to talk about the thing that you've done." And
Yeah.
like I say, some of the things that I've done that I've been very, very proud of, and they
Mm.
were my working in the civil rights movement, core Congress of Racial Equality. I worked there from 1966 to 1972. And every few years, my life changed into something else. I learned how to be a therapist and how to change people's behavior
Hmm.
and also change my behavior while I was in the process of learning. And the latter part of my life was spent in the boxing ring. I was an amateur boxing referee. I did referee, timekeep, everything that they had for us to do, pick up buckets, clean up buckets, straighten up, make sure that the show would go on.
Hmm.
And it was
Well,
very
you
interesting.
well, you just told us about three incredibly interesting aspects of your journey, but can you take us back to some of your work with CORE and what that experience was like for you from 1966 to 1972?
It was challenging. It was the mid part of the civil rights movement. We worked with everybody knew Dr. King and people like that, but some people didn't know Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown. These were people that were involved in the movement. And we would go from place to place. If there was nothing going on in a particular town, we'd make something happen. If there was something happening, we'd stop it from happening. But constantly going into towns, integrating bars, integrating schools, integrating housing. In fact, we had one little situation where we went into this bar and everybody was laughing at how I went there. We come out, it was a gay bar. And the gay, she said, "Oh, we love black folks. You can come into our bar anytime." But we didn't know it was a gay bar. We just went in there off the street, doing it off the shoulder, as we did a lot of things like that.
So now, so just for a little bit of context, so where were you born?
I mean,
We didn't hear you. Can you
I
say
didn't
that
hear
again?
you.
Where were you born? I said I was asking where you were born.
Oh, I was born in upstate New York, Buffalo.
Okay.
So you're upstate New York. and you're traveling to the South to do this work
Traveling to the South.
as a
Most of
part
my
of,
traveling in
yeah.
the civil rights movement was in the South.
Okay.
Okay.
I started off.
Nice.
In fact, we started in Baltimore,
Mm.
Okay.
and we went from Baltimore to North Carolina, Wilmington, Delaware, all over the northeastern seaboard.
Wow.
And you were involved with the movement at a very historical time. I mean, we still
Mhm.
talk about the impact of the civil rights movement today. How do you see this past summer and these past couple of years with regards to people taking to the streets to protest against racial injustices?
You know, when you look at it, there's not a whole lot of change that's going on. In fact, I listened to this song. It's a uh, mother, mother. There's far too many of you crying.
What's going
Brother,
on?
brother,
Yeah.
brother. Far too many of you dying. We just need to. What's going on? What's going on? That's exactly what's happening now. The police are still shooting us. We still, half of the schools are segregated. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's that people have to have faith, believe in what you believe in, and don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't let nobody turn you around. Be yourself, but be for your people. Be proud of who you are, and make sure that everybody else knows that you're proud of who you are and where you came from. And
Wow.
that's what we have to do.
Absolutely. One of the other things that you mentioned was your time as a amateur boxing referee. So, can you talk a little bit about what your experience was as an amateur boxing referee?
Well, well, one of the things that you have to do is you had to keep the fight in order. You had to keep them
Mhm.
in check because, like, sometimes they get in and they just go crazy, and you have to control the boxing and make sure that they abide by the rules. Because after sometimes it gets kind of heated and they
Yes.
throw away the rules, and you have to step up and let them know that who's in charge.
And how long did you do that as a
I
ref?
did that from I did that from 1982 to
Mm.
1997, 96,
Wow.
That's quite a journey, yeah.
That's quite a bit of time. And you traveled all over the world doing this.
all over the world.
Mm.
It's such an incredible story.
Certainly.
What's
So
one
And
of
so
the
what
nothing,
are you up to now?
laying back, relaxing,
You've
enjoying
earned
life.
it.
I
I
hear
I
that.
have I have four mothers, my three
Four.
granddaughters and my daughter-in-law.
Mm.
Sounds about
They, they keep me in check. They keep me in
Yeah,
check.
right.
that's
Well,
wonderful.
thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your incredible story. I look forward to reading your book once you're finished.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank you
so
very much,
much.
Mr. Gant.
All right.
This has been another episode of 28 Days and Beyond.
show where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture. This